So just up from the Dáil, which has been suspended for the day, and people may have seen an absolutely incredible stroke to facilitate a profoundly corrupt man, according to a tribunal, Michael Lowry. The government, with the connivance of the Ceann Comhairle, who was put in position by a deal with Michael Lowry, just rammed through in the most undemocratic way, ignoring the order of business, ignoring standing orders, rammed through a change to standing orders to significantly diminish and undermine the capacity of the opposition to hold the government to account in the Dáil. What they've done, they're trying to pretend, there was nothing significant happening here. What they've done is they've given leaders questions every single day, not to just the opposition, which is what has always been up until now. It's an opportunity for the opposition to hold the Taoiseach, hold the government to account. Instead, they're giving those every single day to the Lowry Group, and to Fianna Fáil or Fine Gael. So one each day. A fundamental shift in terms of the role of leaders' questions and taking time and giving it to the opposition, giving it to the government. Now we're going to have the ridiculous situation of government TDs getting up and asking, isn't it true, Taoiseach, you're the best Taoiseach there's ever been in the history of the country? And the Taoiseach will say, oh yes, that's a very fine point. Absolutely obscene. Secondly, they're slashing in order to facilitate extra time for the government, through the government backbenchers, including Lowry, on a range of debates. They're giving them about an extra hour of time in the course of a week. They're taking a whole bunch of significant opportunities for the opposition and getting rid of them or slashing them significantly. So they're reducing our opportunity to object to the weekly order of business from 1 minute to 30 seconds every on a Tuesday. I mean, 1 minute is already short enough for one person from each group, and they're reducing it now to 30 seconds. Secondly, they're halving the amount of time available to ask questions of the Taoiseach in Taoiseach's questions every week. So going from 90 minutes a week with 6 questions to 45 minutes and only 3 questions. Absolutely incredible. So we objected today to this. We stood up. We made our objections clear. In those circumstances, what has always happened before is that the Dáil is suspended. But this time around, clearly in a preordained plan with the Ceann Comhairle, working with the government, just simply rammed it through. Said the order of business was passed when no one had a chance to object to it. There was no vote on it. And then said we were voting on standing orders. Incredible. Then when we continue to object after they've gotten through what they want to get through, then the government said, then the Ceann Comhairle said, OK, we're suspending it for the day. And again, it was a preordained plan. And then the opposition TDs were chanting shame as the government TDs left. And I filmed what was going on, and Michael Lowry gave me the 2 fingers. And in reality, that sums up the day. It's Lowry giving the people in this country the 2 fingers, and the government giving the people in this country the 2 fingers. They have a secret deal with this profoundly corrupt, to quote a tribunal, politician, Michael Lowry, and they're willing to tear up the norms of parliamentary democracy, of the role of the opposition, in order to facilitate him. It's incredible, and we cannot simply allow it to happen. We have to use all our power to object to it, to not allow it to proceed. So formally now, they've passed their standing order. They've changed the rules to have this fundamental undermining of the democratic process in order to facilitate Michael Lowry. But the Dáil is now suspended. The Dáil can be suspended again. It can be suspended again tomorrow. It can be suspended again the next day. We, as the opposition, need to stand very, very strong in saying that this simply we cannot accept either the substance of what was done or the way in which it was done in a very, very profoundly undemocratic way. It's a breach of what the government promised to get over this hurdle in January. They promised, there was a meeting with the Taoiseach, with the Taoiseach, and then it was read out by the Chief Whip to say, we'll come to an agreement that is satisfactory to both government and opposition. And then they entirely tore that up, and actually their proposals got worse and worse and worse all the way along the line. So really what we saw today was unprecedented, scandalous, fundamentally undemocratic. The Ceann Comhairle has no standing now in reality. Any pretense of her being neutral, upholding the rules of the Dáil or whatever, are utterly gone. She's clearly just controlled by and working for the government. So we're going to continue the opposition and not allow this to proceed, not allow them to get away with this.